So to produce an episode is nothing less than 3,000 Rand. And these are negotiated prices because I have different teams that I work with, but it's literally just to cover their production costs because they spend a lot of money on the equipment that they have. They spend a lot of money on the editing and the post production, and also coming to the studio or wherever we are shooting from. So there's an investment that you need to do, and this 3,000 Rand minimum is per episode. Then you still have to take care of refreshments on site, have to take care of some of the transport costs or travel expenses of the guests that you're bringing to the podcast, and obviously to create an experience. Not to forget the studio hire. Hello, fellow trailblazers. Welcome to Escapes with TK. Top of the morning, money trailblazers. It is a brand new week, new month, new season, and a brand new vlog. Today is Monday, the 1st of September 2025, and I am at the office waiting for the crew to show up because we have a podcast episode recording today for a client. And the reason I'm doing this particular vlog, or the focus for this week's vlog, is really on the behind the scenes of what it takes to create a podcast episode. And I am really inspired to do this episode because I've been receiving a lot of requests. Either people want me to help them with the production, they want me to help them with the studio hire, and so on and so forth. And then I realized that actually we don't really communicate and show people what it takes to produce an episode. And when I say it is actually very costly, particularly when you're starting out, there's a lot that goes into this. So in this week's vlog, I'm going to show you the behind the scenes, from the setup to the equipment to the crew, to maybe also the behind the actual scenes of the podcast production. So I'm just waiting for the team to show up, and then once they're here, I'll start recording so that you guys get to see and have a front row experience of what it takes to create content, particularly in Lesotho, because there isn't a lot of podcasters yet. It's growing, but I don't think we have nearly enough podcasters covering different segments, different niches, and different topics. So I'm going to show you the behind the scenes, and hopefully this will open up your world to the world of content creation and how we go about that. Let's get into the vlog.
Ayo, you know what time it is. This is the street. It's about to get outstanding up in here. We're about to set up for the work we are going to do today. Hala.
What condition for the father? Condition. Also, what for the client? Aku jangan syarat tu. Welcome to another exciting episode of the TKO Money Adventures podcast, powered by TKO Financial Wellness and Advisory. This podcast, the podcast that helps you build a healthier, smarter relationship with your money. My name is Tuki Sontebe, also known as TK the Finance Traveler. And on this podcast, we discuss finances, well-being, business, and wealth creation. If you're passionate about financial health, money management, personal growth, and continuous learning, then today's episode is for you. Male grooming for guys is a thing, guys. People are like, why do guys wear makeup? And sometimes you just have to look good. Well, this is for camera, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm called for to shoot on a Monday. Can monetize in a week. This is what it looks like after taxes, $1 billion, baby. We're about to go live on the podcast. Ooh, looking so fresh, and you should see my guests. Ooh, takes a lot to be a content creator in Africa, not Lesotho. I don't know where this is. It's Africa. Quick commercial break just to do a health check and drink some water. So far so good.
Ready.
And the production team is ready to start. Let me check with my guests. Rihanna, you're ready to start. Feeling a bit better now? Okay, great. She's ready to start. I'm ready to start. Let's rock and roll. Let's go. All right. So before the ad break, I impact the online show. Like that, it's a wrap of the podcast. Yeah, so it's a wrap. We had a great conversation. I think it was a great episode. We had to do a second take because I think the guest is a bit uncomfortable at first, but we do what we do to make sure our guests feel at their absolute best and they are confident about what we are creating. So stay tuned. And hope you guys enjoyed this behind the scenes. Yeah. Top of the morning, Money Trailblazers. Today is Thursday, the 11th of September, 2025. I am currently in TY at the Blue Mountain Inn Hotel for the STEM Summit Workshop Masterclass Week hosted by the UNDP. So this is basically 200 young professionals, young entrepreneurs, young innovators are invited for a week-long competition covering different topics, and I'm one of their mentors talking about financial modeling and how they can monetize, unlock revenue streams, manage their cost, and put together a profitable, viable, financially feasible financial model as part of that pitch. So I'm excited. Today's day two. Yesterday was incredible, and I'm just waiting for Miss E to do a quick telephone interview on Bokamoso FM, which should be exciting, and then the session will start. Yes. So I'll try vlog this experience and show you how and what is happening here. I'm not sure if I'll be entirely able to do all of that because I'll be facilitating, answering questions, helping, sharing knowledge and all that, but I'm excited. It's always so amazing working with young people. So shout out to UNDP, shout out to the Ministry of Science and Technology, and shout out to the PR and Brand Network for putting all this together and doing it exceptionally well. How does it make sense? The content creator getting hold of the content creator. Gotcha. So, youth empowerment is absolutely important, and I think oftentimes we undermine just how much or how little people know about starting a business, whether it's in content creation, whether it's manufacturing, tech, and all of that. So it's very, very important to not take that for granted because it is absolutely crucial. It's often said, learn, unlearn, and relearn. So this is what it's all about. Yes. Oh, I understand. That's yeah, sure. Everything, every day, media, mentor. So hey, come on. So, just to wrap up the weekly vlog, particularly focusing on the cost of content creation, I think oftentimes people see the final product and the perception is that it's cheap, it's affordable, it's easy to do. But in reality and in truth, creating content, particularly quality content, where the visuals are good, where the audio is clean, where the production is top tier, if you will, requires money. So in my instance, when I started, I really started with my phone. So when people say start with what you have and gradually build and grow, I absolutely subscribe to that and I believe that. So I started with my phone, then I started collaborating with a videographer at the time who was trying to establish himself as well. And we really started from one camera that he had, not the best quality camera. He had no lights, we had no microphones, but we gradually built. And I think the first thing that's important is collaborating with the right people who have similar aspirations, similar goals to start, build, and grow something. But in honesty, creating content requires an investment. I don't want to call it spending, I want to call it an investment, because you're using your money and you're investing in this thing that you're building with the hope that one day or someday it will generate some sort of returns. So for me to produce a good quality episode, nothing more than 35 to 40, sometimes nothing more than 60 minutes max. The production of that, because I outsource my videography, I outsource my sound engineering, I outsource my graphic designs as well, because of the quality that I want and I yearn for. And because sometimes I have other things happening in my life, so I don't necessarily have the time to do that myself. I have to then sacrifice and make an investment in the production. So to produce an episode is nothing less than 3,000 Rand. And these are negotiated prices because I have different teams that I work with, but it's literally just to cover their production costs because they spend a lot of money on the equipment that they have. They spend a lot of money on the editing and the post-production, and also coming to the studio or wherever we are shooting from. So there's an investment that you need to do, and this 3,000 rand minimum is per episode. Then you still have to take care of refreshments on site, have to take care of some of the transport costs or travel expenses of the guests that you're bringing to the podcast, and obviously to create an experience. Not to forget the studio hire. So in my instance, I ended up having to I used to record from my house, and then I moved to recording from my office that I now can convert into a studio as well. But now that means I have to pay monthly rental in order to have this place. And the reason I opted for that is because at some point I used to shoot at different restaurants and different places, and I would pay literally around 400 rand per hour to shoot. Now, if you are a content creator, you will know that you don't do a shoot in an hour. It's an hour to set up, it's an hour to record the podcast, and then it's an hour to take down everything, the lights, and pack up, so it was minimum 3 hours per episode, over and above the production cost, over and above the refreshment that you have to buy, and sometimes the travel logistics for your guests, so it really does require one to invest. And the reason I do these behind the scenes is to also show the brands that we approach for collabs, that we approach for sponsorships, for them to really have an appreciation of how much work goes into producing the quality content. So some brands will come and say, we want to be on your show, we want to advertise on your show, and then when you give them the rate card, they were like, oh my god, what? No, we're not paying that much. So there's really a lot of work, time, resources, and energy. I'm recording for my DJI Pocket 3 at the moment, and I upgraded to this camera, which costs around 17,000 rands, because I needed to, one, be consistent with my vlogging, and two, walk around with a camera that was not heavy to do. So whether you are investing in the production or the studio hire, there's also another cost, which is insurance, because these gadgets cost a lot of money, right? So if you don't have insurance, that's a big risk. So we do insure the equipment, so the insurance premiums also come into place. So if you are thinking of starting a podcast, I say go for it and start small and then gradually build, but also know what you're getting yourself into. I wish somebody had told me when I started many years ago that this requires some level of investment, and unless you're willing to go all in, then maybe along the way being consistent will be very difficult. And again, I must also mention that when I started, I didn't start off from where I am now. I didn't start off with the brand campaigns and the deals and the sponsored episodes that I have now. I started from nothing, and I knew that I would have to find a way to fund this production. So my other side hustle, my business initiatives, sometimes my salary even would go towards funding the production of this. So if you don't have additional sources of income, it may also become very pricey to do and to produce so consistently. So if you're a content creator and you're aspiring to be if you're a content creator, let me know how much you are spending and what that looks like. But if you're aspiring to be a content creator, let us know in the comment section how much on average you thought to produce an episode would be, and how, if and when you still want to do it, and what type of niche you want to do. So I hope this vlog did shed some light into the business of content creation. And then lastly, I think when you are going to content creation, is you need to start seeing it as a business, operate it like a business, keep a record of all the expenses, keep a record of all the production costs, keep a record of, run it like a business, because for what it's worth, it is a business. You're going to spend money to get the equipment, which become assets of your business, but you're also going to get an income once brands, companies, businesses, and opportunities start coming your way. So you need to find a way to treat it like a business. So let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if you want to see more of these behind the scenes. A big shout out to my creative team. I work with Matsoso Photography. I work with Biza Street Inc., who helps me with the audio mastering and the podcast side of things. I also work with Titan Lens. photography. I work with Paper Cut for the production of the Escapes with TK podcast. I also work with Marcus Skill Innovations for graphic design, MQ Creative. So I have a big team in different corners that I work with that help me with the production of the podcast. So until the next video, let me know if this was helpful. Give it a like, share it with an aspiring content creator, and also if you're a brand manager, let me know what your expectations are from content creators in the comment section below. Until then guys, enjoy the rest of the week, and I hope to see you in the next vlog. The next vlog will be me going to Medica's Skin and Wellness Center, where I will literally just take you along on a journey for my IV treatment, and also share tips why you ought to be there. That we shot with Paper Cut, with Sepida from Paper Cut, and I'm excited for that vlog, so stay tuned. Also coming up is the Kenyan vlog from my trip in July. It will be coming up soon as well, so be on the lookout for that. And let's keep creating content, and let's keep creating travel memories and experiences together. Cheers guys. Mwah. Thank us later.
And I not been in an accident.
So let's close. Let's close.
Yeah.
Now if you drag my name one more time on the Allegro Africa podcast, please head over to the Allegro Africa podcast. I'll also link it below for amazing content. He features the most dopest, coolest musicians, artists, and he also does current affairs. And he also goes to festivals and shoots podcasts live. I saw some.